my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Bro, I started the wrong string.
Man, you must be struggling on the struggle bus today. Man.
There's so much. So I'm used to starting the PrizePicks stream first. So I clicked PrizePicks, so that video went live. So I gotta make sure it takes off.
How are you hosting today?
Huh?
I said, how are you alive today? There's so much going on.
Yeah, this is what we train for once a year. Ugh.
Limping your victory at the end of the day.
I have a hard out at I gotta be gone in an hour, so you know.
7 games. Should be.
Yeah, but then we'll come back at 4:20 Eastern and do the PrizePicks show. That makes sense.
That'll be 40 minutes.
Yeah, we can go over if we have to, but that'll be for the lead in into the VIP chat. So this will be more of a DFS side.
Yep.
But I need to make sure I don't know if any news dropped while I was doing baseball.
I think Brandon Ingram is the biggest thing. So.
Okay.
That's about it. And Westbrook going to the Hornets possibly.
I need to see if Jax can help me out. Oh yeah, a bunch of news coming out.
Oh yeah, I mean the Lakers are expected.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. Opening day is upon us. Man, yeah, it's been a busy day. I wonder if Gundacker sleeps. I do sleep. Not as much lately as I want to. But it is what it is, man. We gotta get the content out. We gotta do the grind and enjoy opening day. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All right, let's see. What do we got in the spreadsheet here? I'm joined here by Josh. Josh, you guys might have saw his first pick video out there this morning. His first look video this morning. Yesterday, his first look video did numbers. It was his number one video ever put up. So again, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Josh for that accomplishment. I couldn't do it without you people. What do you mean, you people? What's up, Josh? Are you enjoying final couple days of NBA? Just NBA regular season?
I'm sad, man. I don't want to talk about it.
Aw, you want to go take?
But hey, baseball. You got me excited today with your first stream. How was it getting your feet wet?
Man, I tell you what. The first couple streams, really, of any sports is it's not that I feel nervous. You feel like you don't know everything yet. And for baseball, it's a little easier because we do have, profiles on players. We have statistics on how they hit. It's more 1 versus 1. But like the first couple streams of NFL or basketball, you don't really know a player's usage or how he'd be this year. I mean, remember start this season, we thought Kyle Kuzma was some role-playing bum. And then he's out here dropping 60s, and it was like, oh, Kuzma without Porzingis? That's a lock. You don't really have that in baseball. So it's a little bit easier in that regard. But this season, more so really than ever, there's a lot of unspoken changes to baseball that they've never publicly admitted or really gone into detail about, such as a new rosin type, dead balls are universal. Last year they had half the league playing under a juice ball, half the league under dead balls. They played half a season with spider tack. So it was a lot of nuances that could influence numbers.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, got to be numb to it all and just play ranges of outcomes. And then, but from an analytical standpoint, I do get very long-winded when it comes to explaining this stuff. Right now, chat, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm stalling for time trying to update my NBA spreadsheet because I have been working on baseball. But
yeah, and news drops, so you have to update the projections, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do have to sweep projections here. So let's do that. But how are we doing, Chad? You guys doing all right today? Did you guys make it out last night? We did pretty solid last night, at least for the props side of things. Utah Jazz, man. I thought NAW would get a little bit more run.
Yeah.
I knew Whiteside over McGee would be the play, but it's not like Whiteside got more minutes. He just went nuclear.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah. Hey, but we totally missed Butler. I forgot about him. He wasn't even in our spreadsheet.
I agree.
That's who ruined NAW's minutes, right?
Well, that and the fact that Trent Forrest played first of all, and then he got hurt, and it was just chaos. But yeah, it's these basketball slates with all that, all the tank stuff and the you don't know who's playing being at the end of the slate. It kind of chops you off at the knees at the beginning of a slate, because you don't know if you're going to need to swap into some undeniable value or not. And then if the answer's no, then you don't really have you can't go backwards, right? You can't go get access to the first game. So it did kind of makes you miss the no late swap days of DFS, but at the same time, no. Shout out to the live chat. Chris Smith, Sway McThunder, Skimmer, Mia Moore, Dang Lazy Mofo up in the chat. Steve Leibowitz, Gun is going schizo today. Too many shows in sports. Be all right. We'll be all right. Josh will feel better once we get to the Blazers game. I agree.
Always.
Ish Smith owes me money. You know what's funny is I was typing up a lineup and it was for Ish Smith, but I accidentally typed Wainwright for some reason. I don't know why. Wainwright. And Ish Wainwright went the F off last night. And so sometimes mistakes are good.
The Suns just completely flopped all those value bench guys.
Oh yeah, totally. And then that fourth quarter was ridiculous. It was the second quarter they scored 8 and they scored like 40 in the fourth. That's nuts.
Yeah, they try to make a comeback in the fourth. Yeah, Cam Johnson was just way off. I think he was like 0 of 9 from 3 at one point.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to push through a projection sweep here, and then I think I'll just wing the news game by game because I'm, like I said, Chad, I got a hard 45 minutes, and then I got to roll out. It's that tight of a schedule today, but please remember, chat, we will be back today I scheduled it for 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Maybe we can flip the switch a little bit sooner. Depending on how quick I can get out of the other stream, and then we'll do some PrizePicks content, and then we'll get into the RunDFS.com VIP voice chat. So it's gonna be an absolutely busy day of sports, but I love it. Right? There's people don't feel bad for me, right? Oh no, Gun's got all this work. Hey man, there's worse ways to make a living than what I'm going through today. So I'm blessed. Blessed to be a blessing. All right, let's pull up the index portal here, get into the spreadsheet here, and I guess we'll do a quick plug for RunDFS.com. If you guys want to get into the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, but also into that baseball spreadsheet, go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account, sign up, grab a membership that's right for you. We got week passes, 2-week passes, month passes, all that good stuff. And if you grab that season pass today, tomorrow, one of these days will be the last day to get it. That'll get you into October 5th. Also get you a $100 voucher towards Fantasy Cruncher. Let's open up game number 1 here. It is the Orlando Magic taking on the Charlotte Hornets. We have, let me pull up this, which is going to be the most updated totals and whatnot. I definitely need. Jax, if you're out there, if you can give me a hand on the spreadsheet today, that'd be great. If not, I'll DM you. All right, Magic at the Magic hosting the. Or Magic at the Hornets. We got Gary Harris, Q. We got Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner listed as out. So I guess Schofield's in. Gordon Hayward. I had him as out, but now I'm seeing questionable. I don't know if something changed on that.
I thought he was doubtful. Is he
doubtful?
Now upgraded?
Okay, maybe it's doubtful. But I had written out this morning for some reason. 230.5 total, 14-point spread in favor of the visiting Charlotte Hornets. So this one should be pretty quick to surmise. I think we'll talk about the prop bets later, but I imagine we're going to be targeting first half props only here. And then when it comes to the Magic, we can make a case for Mo Bamba. He's almost 7K on DK, 6,400 on Fanduel. Last game he was lights out. Then he hit 5 threes in the first quarter, something dumb like that, right?
Yeah.
He just went stupid, and then he also had 5 blocks. So I think he's fine. We like setters against the Hornets as a pace up matchup for the Hornets. So I don't mind putting Bomba into the player pool here today. I have not had a lot of confidence in any of the Magic for the last week or two, and I'll probably stay away from anything that's not Mo Bamba. And then on the Hornets, I'm worried about fourth quarter equity. I will probably have some shares of LaMelo, guys like that. But that's really the only 2 names that kind of stick out to me. Anything I'm missing in the Hornets Magic game?
I imagine that people will probably chase Ignis. Just being the price tag and the amount of minutes he could play. But like I said, could is the key word there. We don't know with this Magic rotation.
Exactly.
But yeah, Mo Bamba, he played. It looks like if this trend continues, he will get a cleanup run, in the fourth quarter. And he never usually plays the fourth quarter, but as of late, he's getting that fourth quarter run even in blowouts. So it's a great matchup for him. But you're risking the Magic rotation.
Yeah, I'm getting a decent projection on Bamba at 36, but yeah, I'm with you. The other guys here, this is going to be the story of the slate. There's just not a lot of high confident clicks, so a little bit of Bamba. Chat, you guys got anything specifically here? Fell asleep and woke up too late to swap to who? Oh, from McGee. J. Cole says Biombo and Whiteside stack with Luka, Katie, and Trey won me money. Let's go, J. Cole. I grabbed McGee's under on fantasy. That worked out. Nice.
He's washed, man. I think he's done.
I don't know about that, but he doesn't ever get massive minutes, and he's always projected for an insane outcome, and it's always massive chalk. It's almost become fun to fade that, but I did have a stake in McGee yesterday, so I can't pretend like I didn't, but I did have Whiteside as well, and there's a clip here on this channel where we talked about Whiteside over McGee is probably going to be the play, but the logic behind that was I thought Gobert wouldn't play a bunch of minutes and Whiteside could get 25. Whiteside just went all the way off in 19 minutes, right?
5 blocks, yeah.
It was insane. So yeah. Gun, wait, no NHL, MMA, or PGA today. I don't know golf, which apparently is not a sport. I don't know MMA. I've done an NHL stream before, but that was more of me playing host, and I had an analyst on. I don't have time for that, but MMA and PGA. What happened?
Tatum and Horford are out.
We were wondering. I was wondering. Yeah, that just happened.
It's a huge game, though. This is for second place. The winner takes it.
So we were talking about that yesterday. It's do they want to win? You know what I mean? To face Brooklyn.
I'm
with you, but that is certainly an interesting development. So Smart's in, and I guess that's going to super spike up Jaylen Brown. And I guess we'll get to that here in just a second. I was this close to putting Jason Tatum on the cover, so I'm glad I didn't. Mo Collins, Mo Harkless. I have been getting to some Mo Wagner, right? I feel like McGee only gets up for the biggest games at this stage in his career. Maybe he also just like last night's Whiteside game is what everyone thought McGee would have, 5 blocks and just go nuts in 25 minutes. But yeah, they're saying Westbrook is probably out tonight as well. I don't expect any of the Lakers to play. Any of them, not even not even Nelson Reeves. God dang it! All right, Bucks hosting the Celtics. So this game just got completely nuked, flipped on its head. So Tatum, Horford out. So we're gonna put Tatum as out, Horford as out. So I guess we're gonna throw Grant Williams into this power forward spot, and Derek White and Jaylen Brown maybe. Would you agree with that? Maybe a Nesmith or. I'm gonna go Derek White.
I see Derek White. Yeah.
All right. So let's do that, and then I imagine this spread's gonna go from 6.5 to probably close to 10 plus. So Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Grant Williams, Daniel Tice taking on Drew Holiday, Wesley Matthews, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. It was a 227 total. We'll keep an eye on the movement here. With that said, we know that the Celtics without Jason Tatum spikes heavy usage on Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's I think I saw it on Twitter last night. He's on an incredible streak of 25 plus real points, right?
Yep.
Oh, I'm in the wrong sport, guys. Hold up. Oh my gosh, bro! I just put up some Met player.
JD Davis.
I don't know what it was. There's somebody named Jalen in the league in baseball. But 25 real points in 5, 6. Look at these, like it's ridiculous. So we can almost put that as this baseline. Start with 25 real points and go from there. And I'm sure the prop world's going to catch up to that as well. But if we go look at that on-off court tool for Boston, and we'll keep the whole season of sample size in here. Let's take off Robert Williams. Let's take off Al Horford. And then let's take off Jason Tatum, which is the most important one here. And I guess while we're here, let's take off Dennis Schroeder. We can do that. And then let's just put on Brown. What can Brown do for you? So do you think the Celtics on a back-to-back without Jason Tatum, without Al Horford, without Robert Williams, keep this game competitive?
It all comes down to, Jaylen Brown, if he can stay hot. I think there's a good chance. And if, Marcus Smart can help pick up the slack too. I mean, overall, the Celtics are still a solid defense and team. That's a huge offensive hole with Tatum out.
Jaylen Brown in this split, 33% usage rate. I will say it's less than 70 minutes of sample size. So at its very core, what we're really worried about here in this split is no Tatum, no Tatum. Horford and Robert Williams not really taking away the usage part here. So we'll just put Brown on, Tatum off. And Jaylen Brown sustains that 30+% usage rate with a lot more minutes of sample size. And he's about 1.2 fantasy point per minute on both Fanduel and DK. With a 21% assist rate. Marcus Smart, 21.8% assist rate. So he might be somebody we look at for some assist props. Derek White, if he is in part of that if he is in that mix there, he also might pick up some of the ball handling. And I think Marcus Smart's an exponentially better three-point shooter than Derek White. So you might even see some Derek White playing more on ball and try to set up some of those shots for Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. So something to keep an eye on, in my opinion. So Derek White at 49 on FanDuel, 58 on DK. It's probably going to look like a pretty solid click. And then you might get Peyton Pritchard as a value play now. And he's under 4K on both sides. He also can be kind of a fast-paced scorer for the Celtics if they get into a rut and need to sell out for scoring. On the Bucks side, Giannis sounded good when you thought there was 4 quarters. Now Giannis is on a slate that has Embiid and has Jokic. And I think we're going to wrestle with projecting this game to stay competitive. So Giannis might be third on the podium no matter what, but even more so now. Your confidence in Giannis being a top play on the slate, and how often do you think he outscores Jokic and or Embiid today? I will say Jokic is wrestling that Grizzlies defense. So
Yeah.
we'll be battling that. But right now there's a
Yeah.
lot of MVP hype on Jokic and Embiid, the final games of the season. And both the Nuggets and Embiid, their teams just straight up want to win. So something to keep an eye on there. But Giannis, if you had to rank him, is Giannis number 3?
That's a good call. I mean, all three of these guys, there's some negative attached to their game script. So yeah, I mean, out of all of them, Giannis now has the best matchup. With Al Horford out, he's gonna go against guys like, Grant Williams and Dice. That, I mean, he should have his way today. And we've seen him get it done in limited 29, 30 minutes. So I still have confidence in him, and I'm hoping the Celtics can keep it close.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope. But Celtics on a back-to-back, and Bucks not so much. Bucks at home, they like to make statements at home here, and even more so when the Celtics are missing 3 starters. So,
Yeah, this is a TNT game too, right? So
is it? Wow, the disrespect. The disrespect. Yesterday there was a moment in time before the slate where the Celtics starters came out as game time decisions, and it was like a 10
with them, right?
It was like a 10-minute period. It was like, oh, is he going to play? Or are they going to play?
Yeah.
Or are they loading up for tomorrow? And then they all played, and it was unfortunate. But, yeah, you can give me some Giannis here. And then, going to the next game, 76ers at the Raptors, 220 total, 1.5 point spread in favor of the visiting Philadelphia 76ers. They're going to be without Matisse Thybulle, ineligible to play this game because of vaccination rules. But the Sixers, we go look at the Eastern Conference standings. They do have incentive to play hard and win today, and so do the Raptors. The Raptors are 3 games back from the Sixers, but they are 1 game above the Bulls, so they kind of want to stay rock steady there in that 5 spot. The Sixers, however, are just 1 game back officially from the 2 spot, but I do think the Bucks will tie the Celtics again in wins-loss today, and so will the Sixers. So we might get we might get 250 and 30 teams by the end of the day if the Sixers can beat the Raptors. But pump the brakes on that. The Raptors have been pretty stinking hot. So I think the Sixers are going to have to earn this win today up in Toronto. And Matisse Thybulle, though maybe irrelevant for fantasy, bing bong.
Cameron super chatted $4.99. No Fanduel baseball today?
No Fanduel baseball? There will be. Just put Corbin Burns in your lineup, and we'll get the others later. There's only 1 game on the Fanduel slate that we're not going to have access to. Play Corbin Burns, and we'll fix it from there. You know what I mean? You can late swap for baseball. My bad. I'm super busy today. But yes, play Corbin Burns. And if you are multi-line, I wouldn't hate a couple of Brewer stacks. But I think Padres is going to be my favorite stack. And then I'll probably be looking for a couple one-offs from the Mets and stuff like that. But definitely get yourself Corbin Burns exposure, and we'll fix it in post, right? Raptors have been really hot themselves, and like I said, they don't want to go backwards and fall beneath the Bulls in the win column. So we're gonna get scrappy basketball for 4 quarters, hopefully. And we said Thybulle's absence is not insignificant. Maybe for fantasy, we're not playing Thybulle, but for a defense, Thybulle's that's their guard dog, that's their pit bull. So replacing him with a guy like Danny Green. Danny Green's been known as a solid defender his career, but he's not Thybulle. So something that is a net positive for the Raptors and their chances today. And then Pascal Siakam, he's been on a crazy tear for DFS in this big stretch for the Raptors, winning way more than they're losing. What are we looking for here, Josh? I think in a competitive game, James Harden at sub 10K on FanDuel is going to continue to be an interesting click to me. And then Joel Embiid, past all the MVP stuff, they want to win. So go out there and win. And if you need 4 quarters of Joel Embiid playing at his best, it could absolutely break the slate. In my latest projection run, Embiid and Jokic, as expected, are at the tippy top. I do have Jokic above Embiid. I always do. But if Embiid outscored Jokic, I think on the last slate, it wasn't that different of a score either. If Embiid's going to be a top raw scorer on the slate, and there's going to be some value opening up when that Lakers news drops, we're going to want access to it. But do you agree? Do you think this game goes 4 quarters and it's down to the wire slugfest?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, most 76er games are in general, when you watch them, and now you get thrown the Raptors, who also play like slow pace, low scoring games. I think the last game it was 93-88. So I don't expect a shootout, but it should be a gritty battle, and yeah, I think it'll stay close. Yeah. So with that said, I mean, Embiid, you want him in these close matchups. Although that last game, I think it was one of his worst games this season. He had like 21 real points, if I remember correctly.
Sheesh.
But I mean that just variance. I mean, this bounce back spot. If so do you think what do the Raptors usually do here when they face a big? They'll start Precious or Birch at the 5.
I think they'll start Siakam if Anunoby can play. I think that's the goal, is to go Van Vliet, Trent, Anunoby, Scotty, and Siakam, and then you're just kind of taking turns defending and beating that one. I think if Anunoby didn't play and you could free up Siakam a little bit more, and you could sacrifice Birch and Achua and Boucher down there, I think that's fine too. But I would expect Siakam to start if Anunoby's playing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no matter what, I do like Siakam in this matchup, especially with Thibault out, because Thibault would have try to give him problems all game long. But yeah, with Danny Green now in there, and guys like Gorgeous Yang subbing in for him, definitely a boost for Siakam, and also a boost for if OG plays. So yeah, and Scotty Barnes also could benefit as well. But yeah, I think the Sixers offense opens up a little bit with Thibault out now. They should maybe put up a little bit more points and be more productive on offense, and that's it's a boost for guys like Harden for his assist. He's not relying on Thibault to hit a 3 or because Thibault has been taking more shots lately, and that's something you don't want offensively. So yeah, I like that he's out in this game.
His offense is offensive.
Yes, it is.
Anunoby right quad contusion being deemed questionable to play in Thursday's matchup with the Sixers. So
he's so cheap right now.
Yeah, if he plays, then I assume he's going to start, and that would probably be the Siakam at the 5 lineup. But we'll see. We definitely can look at some of the rotations that they've thrown at Embiid to try and defend him. News in the DK chat is saying that Boston has 0 incentive to win. So the incentive is subjective to who do you think they want to play.
But don't you want home court advantage? You get home court advantage if you're the 1 or 2 seed.
Well, you get home court advantage if you're a top 4 seed for the first round.
Like, the first round.
You're not going to... And really the second round, depending on who you're facing. But yes, I mean, in that regard, yes. But I think the narrative here is that the Nets would line up to face the winner of that game, and I guess people are thinking that they're trying to duck the Nets, which I get it. I know the Nets have not been that good lately. Playoff Kevin Durant, that's for 43 minutes of a different breed of basketball player. So I get it. If you're trying to manage matchups here, incentive is definitely open to interpretation. Because if they didn't want to win, they wouldn't have played yesterday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where do we draw the line? So it's not a crazy statement, but it's also something that we are drawing our own conclusions on by assuming that they don't want to win. Porygon, multiple sports slate streams back to back. I'm so confused. Betting Trout over 7.5 rebounds. Mike Trout double tonight, baby. You might get a double. Why not? All right. Portland Trail Blazers at the New Orleans Pelicans. We don't truly know the lineup here for the Blazers. I'm probably just going to assume Brandon Williams is out again and guess that Chris Dunn is what we're leaning on. Chris Dunn, Keon Johnson, CJ Ellaby, Greg Brown, Drew Eubanks up against CJ McCollum. Did you say we get Ingram news?
Yeah, he's out, and J-Val is playing.
Okay. So Devontae Graham, maybe? CJ McCollum, Devontae Graham?
That or, yeah.
All right, so let's go. B. Ingram out. Yeah, I need a hard sweep on this spreadsheet. Herbert Jones, Jackson Hayes, Jonas Valanciunas. So 2-2-2, another 1-2 is our total. Was a 16-point spread. Hasn't moved much since the J-Val news. Pelicans 223. No. All right. So with that said, without Brandon Ingram, we had been looking pretty heavily on CJ McCollum. He's facing his old team. I think it matters less that it's in New Orleans, right? It's fun to be in front of the old crowd, but this is not the team that he played for that he's facing today. It's not really like he's facing his old friends, like maybe Ben McLemore. Hey, I recognize you, but the rest of this team is, who are you? So I'm not gonna overrate the revenge narrative there, but CJ McCollum's usage goes up without Brandon Ingram. We've also seen his assist rate go up. With that said, despite a 16-point spread, McCollum is really cheap on both sides. 82 on Fanduel, 86 on DK. And I'll likely, once I do get the Ingram adjustment pushed through, I'll likely get CJ McCollum flirting with 50 fantasy points as his projection. So some I'll get behind. Chris Dunn is still around 5K on both Fanduel and DK. Probably going to get a 30 fantasy point projection on that. I'm not going to get to too much else on these Blazers. Keon Johnson had a solid game last time out. We're starting to see some corrections to the price points where you got to pay 5K for Keon Johnson instead of 3,500. McLemore's kind of been stalemated at 45, 42. So if they fall in the lineups, cool, that's fine. But I do think some of these price points have caught up to him where I'm not full sending a Blazer stack like some psychos on this stream right now might condone. That's a Josh joke. And then on the Pelican side, J-Val is pretty cheap as well. He'll be top 2 in usage and per minute production now that Ingram's back out. And then, like I said, McCollum's assist rate goes up, so maybe not a bad correlation to put some McCollum and J-Val together. We are wrestling with a blowout propensity, but I think the price is okay that they could probably still get there in 3 quarters. Larry Nance revenge, sure, he is back in the mix here, eating up 20-plus minutes, so perhaps none of this front court gets more than 30 minutes anyway. How are you reading this game, Josh? I think CJ McCollum is somebody that's my highest expectation in terms of floor versus ceiling. I definitely think he has the highest ceiling in this game. Would you target him despite a 16-point spread?
Yeah, I mean, he's been really active defensively, racking up steals, and he should keep it up today against these guys. So yeah, you know, I could see him getting it done in 3 quarters. I mean, the guy, for value would be Larry Nance on DK. It's such a huge price gap. He's at 3,600. Maybe he gets a little more minute boost and usage with Ingram out. Because they could, run different lineups and go big.
Yeah.
And it's a great spot for him. So, I think he's good value on the Pelican side, and then yeah, it's a dice roll with the Blazers, man. You don't know, Keon Johnson is gonna play 25 minutes or is he gonna play 35 minutes? It's been up and down with their minute rotation, but Eubanks seems to be the most steady in his minutes. It's pretty locked in at 30 to 32 minutes. So I could probably feel most comfortable with him as on the Blazer side. And yeah, I wish J-Val wasn't playing because Willie. It's a great spot for Willie, and he would have gotten blowout run too. But yeah, I just don't get why J-Val's gonna play this one if he has a sore ankle.
Looking at some news that just dropped via Underdog, the Lakers officially out. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook ruled out for Thursday. So,
Austin Reeves to the win.
Reeves, what's his name from? He used to play for the Magic and the Rockets. Why is his name slipping my? There's too many names in my brain right now. Updating baseball. Help me out, Josh.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I won a tournament with this guy. He played for the Magic, and he was from the Rockets. He's the backup point guard now.
Oh,
Augustine. Yeah. Why did I, bro? There's too many names in my brain right now. I'm literally about to overheat.
About to blow up. Man.
But anyway, with that news, so your skeleton on pretty much every lineup right now is going to be 3 Lakers, 4 Lakers. You take what happens. Augustine, Reeves, Monk, guys. Monk didn't get ruled out, so I imagine Monk would be there. I wouldn't expect Carmelo to play, but he wasn't part of this news batch. I can't play Dwight Howard ever again, ever. But, yeah. So Spurs at the T-Wolves. Project starting five for the Spurs: Trey Jones, Josh Primo, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? Taking on Patrick Beverley, D'Angelo Russell, crossing over with Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. This one is unique in that we got DeJounte Murray ruled out, right? If you told me there's no DeJounte Murray against the Minnesota Timberwolves, am I wrong to have just presumed that this would be like a 12 to 13 point spread? But instead,
Hey,
7.5?
Maybe it's the Jones brother effect, man. Like when this point guard goes out, they step in and the team still holds it down. Because they played well against the Nuggets. They were winning by double digits the entire game.
The Nuggets when Jokic is off the court is so night and day. But you don't have that effect with the T-Wolves. They have guys that can carry the load. So I do wonder if maybe if there's an okie doke coming our way. Could be Patrick Beverley. Beverley has missed some time.
Yeah. And
we know that if he's out, we're certainly going to be looking at D'Angelo Russell to pick up some slack for prop betting, assists, stuff like that. The Fanduel price points have come up a little bit on D. Russ. He was in the 5Ks. Now he's almost 7K, 6,800 for him on both Fanduel and DK. Anthony Edwards is a very reasonable 7'4", 7'6", when you consider his ceiling. And Cat, 8,900 on Fanduel. 9,600 on DK. I mean, he's going to get lost in the sauce. I feel like his last couple of slates, he's been on with Embiid, with Jokic. So on a site like FanDuel, especially now that we have that value from the Lakers available, Jokic has to be the highest scoring center. You're almost always going to see the highest raw point center if it is Jokic and Embiid pushing 60, 70, be in the optimal versus, an implied 50 from Cat. So I do think the price is broken on Cat. I wish I could take more advantage of it than I'm going to, but I just think the raw points are going to be pretty accessible on the Jokic part. And, this spread being single digits definitely opens up this game for full stack potential. I do think Trey Jones with DeJounte down is still very, very attackable. DeJounte has an illness. He's been dealing with this illness a couple games now. So we've seen Trey Jones step in. I feel like each game Trey Jones has a very slow first quarter, and then he just erupts and gets there. And you're like, why did I doubt you? 10, 7, 9 assists in his last 3 outings. Now, 2 of those games are against the Portland Trailblazers. They don't count as an actual team. The Denver Nuggets, though, going into Denver, being able to beat up on the Nuggets, that's easier said than done. 10 assists in that game, 14 real points. Do-it-all kind of guy. Kind of Chris Dunny to me in the price range. I'm expecting 30 fantasy points from both guys, assuming Brandon Williams is also out. So I like the thought of Trey Jones, but it's not quite the value that he was maybe this time a week ago. And I also like Devin Vassell at 5'5", 6K. I think he could lead the Spurs in scoring. Keldon Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, other guys that I would consider as well. But Devin Vassell, I think, could be a really, really strong guy that overshoots his price point. He had almost 30 at half last outing, so look for that.
Yeah, he was on fire. Yeah, he was a big reason Trey was getting all those assists. But yeah, Trey's minutes are pretty secure and locked at 33 minutes. And he can push north of 40 fantasy points if he picks up just a couple more steals or blocks, because he's filling the stat line, and playing just like his brother Tyus over in Memphis. So I like him a lot today. Guards have just been feasting against Nuggets all season long, and so Vassell and Jones should have a good day today.
Robert says T-Wolf defense doesn't count as a real team as well. T-Wolves have a pretty solid defense. I think it really just matters on. So the end result on their defense, I think, is lost because of how fast they run. So it feels like they're giving up more points, but maybe Beverly does make a difference. Timberwolves defensive rating. Let's go last 30 games.
Oh, I got the Jones brothers mixed up, man.
114. All right, so maybe their defense has been lackluster last 4. I felt like since there was a stretch after the All-Star break where they were
top 3,
yeah. I guess they've regressed.
They were playing bad teams, so
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, good call, Rob. 114. Okay, yeah, good call. How about a defensive rating without Patrick Beverly on the season? How about that? Pops up. Where we at? 124. We're good. 115. All right, maybe that's what I'm missing here. Is the Spurs get a depleted defense, and the guys that do play good defense are happy. And we know Cat's top 3 in fouls for 36, and Vanderbilt can get in foul trouble. So, is Jakob Poeltl just existing, or is Zach Collins and Jock Landale going to keep? Well, I guess Landale's out.
I don't know what's Poeltl, man. His minutes, they're down.
Okay. Nuggets hosting the Memphis Grizzlies.
I don't care. Moving on.
I mean, I'm crunched for time. I feel like I'm robbing you guys of some in-depth stuff, but I'm sorry. Grizzlies project starting 5: Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Stone Cold, Steven Adams. Gonna get you one board. What? Taking on Monte Morris, Will Barton, Aaron Gordon, Jeff Green, and Nikola Jokic. 232.5 total, 4.5 point spread in favor of the Denver Nuggets. Pretty high implied total here. Memphis without Ja Morant, man. The hits keep on coming. Ja Morant, I got him as questionable. I'm expecting him to not play. We didn't see anything different, right? So with that in mind, Jokic and the Nuggets, so we look at that Western Conference, the Nuggets are 1 game back of the Jazz. They're not likely to get into that 4 spot, right? But they could jump the Jazz if the Jazz go backwards and, get that added layer of seeding security, and maybe they'll like who they match up with a little bit more if that is what these guys are giving up in the meetings. So the Nuggets at least should want to win today. With that said, Jokic is also making the final couple of cases for his MVP bid, and he's just Nikola Jokic, and he should be the highest scorer on the slate. And now that we have a full-on Lakers onslaught value stack, we could probably lean on Jokic as a pretty easy click. I think it's fair to want to split him and Embiid a little bit. I think if you gave me 100 points for Embiid, 100 points for Jokic in terms of how much exposure I want for each, I don't think I'd be 50-50. I'd probably be like 65-35 with the bulk going to Jokic, just because I'll project Jokic to Embiid. But I think it's fair to go get the raw points today. So give me some Jokic. Aaron Gordon's had a couple strong games lately. His FanDuel price point has now moved to $7K. I've been conditioned to not pay $7K for Aaron Gordon. I'm getting about 35 fantasy point projection, so it's still clickable on DK. I wouldn't hate you if you took another shot on him on FanDuel, but for the most part, I think it's just Jokic and I'm out. The Grizzlies, if we can get this team in a more competitive game, longer, stronger, I think Tyus Jones makes sense. I think if Dylan Brooks, Desmond Bane fell in a lineup or something like that, I'd probably not want both Bane and Brooks in the same lineup, but I would get a little bit of exposure to them. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., happy, top 3 in fouls for 36. If he crosses up with Jokic, you're going to have a bad time. So I think it's just Tyus Jones for the most part, and then I'm just driving a wedge between Bane and Brooks exposure. What is your read on this game? Do you think the Grizzlies give us any surprise ceiling games from people in front of our face here? Morant is officially out, right? Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay.
It has a healthy applied total, and the spread is reasonable. So I like this game for its potential. And yeah, so like I was saying earlier, guards against Nuggets we can always attack with. So yeah, I like Tyus, and I like Desmond Bane in this matchup. Yeah, Tyus is playing big minutes, even though they have nothing really to play for because they have the number 2 seed locked up. But yeah, he's playing 35 minutes a game lately. So I like him for his for filling the stat line and getting stocks, and Desmond Bane's getting stocks as well. He should score easily in this matchup. And then yeah, Jokic, he's chasing that record. I think he's only like 32 points away, and with 2 games left. So he should easily clear it. Maybe he clears it tonight. Who knows? And Aaron Gordon's playing huge minutes, and yeah, he's pretty much the only guy besides Jokic doing anything out there. Like you said, when Jokic is not out there or involved, like they're just getting destroyed defensively. And yeah, Boogie's like playing really bad lately when he checks in. It's just like a negative net rating coming in. He's just turning it over and fouling. That's
Dude,
about it.
the entire the Nuggets bench is so bad. I felt my boy Greg on Twitter the other night tweeted that he was thinking about betting all the unders for Nuggets second quarters. The little stint without, or the taking the other team to win those quarters, because that's how bad the Nuggets are without Jokic, which in a way kind of makes his MVP case even stronger, just because he's literally carrying this team to a playoff and not a play-in spot. He's literally top 5, top 6 seeding all year. The man, he's a different breed. So I agree with that. I kind of think that's a sharp take. I just ran a slight projection sweep to try and compensate for some of the news that has broken since we've been live. So let's go back to the breakdown. And we got one game left on the docket. For that, take a pause for the cause and remind you guys a couple of things. First of all, there's a free Discord that we launched as a companion piece to this channel, to this chat room. Those of you guys that have been part of the live streams every day for the last couple months, you know about it, and you guys have been really, really active in the free Discord. I saw you guys chopping up golf this morning. You guys are looking at baseball props, stuff like that. If you're not in that, it's completely free. Link is in the description below. Click on that. No reason not to. It's free. If you are a channel member, link your Discord account with your YouTube account, and we'll a couple times a week we throw the prop detector in there. Probably also throw some bomb detectors there as well. I know last year I was doing bomb detector on Twitter as well, so I might have to do a couple weeks for bomb detector on Twitter. Today's bomb detector is not that exciting. We just did a full stream for that, but it's just a cool way for you to just support the channel if you just want to show some love. And if you guys want access to this spreadsheet, but also the baseball spreadsheet and all things RunDFS.com VIP, including daily pre-locked voice chats when I'm not live streaming, go to RunDFS.com, get yourself a VIP membership, and boom. I also want to shout out our sponsor for this show, PrizePicks. If you're not on PrizePicks, you should be later on today, about 4:20 Eastern, 3:20 Central. We're going to be back live on this channel, me and Josh, going over what props have opened up on PrizePicks. Going to be some unique opportunities now that we didn't have an hour ago, right? Since this stream has started, we lost Jason Tatum, Al Horford, the Lakers starting lineup, Brandon Ingram. So there's going to be some fun usage spikes and dips that we'll be able to look up. And when stuff like that happens, Josh, that's usually where the edge is at, right? Any given day, Jokic and Embiid is going to be priced to the gills, and you're just sweating them being goats. But the days where units change and you can move around the usage rates and the assist rates, like the D'Angelo Russell without Beverly assist prop, my goodness, has that been a money printer. So it's stuff like that. And hopefully we can take advantage of that. Maybe we get some more news to do that. If you're not on PrizePicks and you want to come back for that show and get ready, hey, sign up for PrizePicks now. Use code GUNDACKER. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. If you're a resident of Arizona, they just launched Arizona 2 days ago. Welcome. Jump in there. Maybe you didn't know about that. And if you live in Arizona, jump on PrizePicks. Use code GUNDACKER. And come back later at 4:20 p.m. Eastern and blaze it as we're, I don't know. I was going to make a blaze joke, but I'm not hip. I'm not hip.
Appreciate the effort.
I'll have one weed. I've never done weed. I clicked the wrong screen. All right, breakdown. Here we go. All right, main event tonight. The Lakers at Josh's Golden State Warriors. We got the project starting five for the Lakers. DJ Augustine, maybe Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, Stanley Johnson, Dwight Howard, taking on Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney. 219.5 is and was our total. 13-point spread was our spread. I would imagine everyone assumed that the Lakers would not be playing full strength today, so I don't expect those lines to move too much because I don't think they were inefficient. I'm seeing now 219 with a 14-point spread, so Golden State projected to win this game pretty mightily, and I don't disagree. With that said, minutes equal money, and DJ Augustine is min price on both Fanduel and DraftKings. So Malik Monk's pretty attainable on both sites. And I like I said, I don't know that I trust and believe that Carmelo Anthony's going to get any type of extended run. He could, but I don't think I believe it. And Dwight Howard's a veteran. Guys like that, I don't know. I feel like you would see more Wenyen Gabriel down this stretch, more Malik Monks, DJ Augustines, guys like that are either young, want some reps, or might be looking for a job next year and might be, making some rehearsals and some highlight tapes to send around. So these guys are just going to project as really, really strong value pieces, and that's what we've seen the last couple of days. That's what we will see the next couple of days. So I'm in on that. The Warriors, prop-wise, we'll probably be looking at first halves. We'll talk about that on the PrizePicks show. Josh, is there any way that you're... And you're a pessimistic fan. Is there any way that this Warriors team doesn't put the Lakers down pretty easily? And would you think that now that Steve Kerr knows that the Lakers are out, do you think he's thinking about resting anybody in response?
He could. Yeah, definitely. Especially, Draymond dealing with that back issue. And guys like Otto, he's been treating with caution. Yeah, something to look out for. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I do not feel good about this game at all. It's the Lakers with their key guys in were struggling big time, and now you take them out. Guys like Monk and Augustine are gonna have to keep it. They're the only hope to keep it close, and they have to get hot.
No.
From three. So, yeah, I don't have much hope in this one, but I will say that for the prop world we get into later today, we could definitely get on the 3-point props for Jordan Poole and Clay, because I just expect them to chuck it right from the start. But yeah, we have to see if we get those 3-point props. But I assume this can be around 3.5 or 4.
Warriors play again on Saturday, and they'll be up against the Spurs. So they do get a day of rest in between games. Then they go on the road at San Antonio. Win-wise, they could mathematically go backwards and get jumped by the Mavericks. So they want to win.
They have to win out. Yeah.
So maybe the thought is get the lead and then insta hook. I don't know. All right, something to think about. Jordan Poole, though, seems like he's pretty safe for big minutes, more than likely. I had him at 38 minutes as a baseline. That might be a unique pivot. I think CJ McCollum might draw some more ownership at that price point. Also, he's in a bigger spread, so don't quote me on that. But maybe that's a pivot to maybe a McCollum if McCollum does end up on the south side of that seesaw. And then, otherwise, I'm very pessimistic about some of these Warriors. And the prices are kind of high, almost 8K on Klay Thompson, 7K on FanDuel. So definitely taking the Lakers value and just kind of building in the studs around it. Should be hey, the other night, the 3K Millie Maker on DK was full-on scrubs from that Thunder punt squad, and it stuffed in Embiid, it stuffed in Jokic. It also had an Aaron Gordon 40 bomb. The rest was a who's who of who's that. So maybe that type of strategy works again tonight, and it makes sense. So that's what we're dealing with, chat. We'll knock out some questions here, and then I have probably about 7 minutes that I gotta get going. Looking at chat. Nightmare, what up, Nightmare? Says, does fantasy point per minute and usage go together? It's often correlated, but it doesn't necessarily have to go together. You'll see a lot of times centers may have a sub 20% usage rate, but have the highest point per minute production because they're catching rebounds and stuff like that. So if you're not familiar with usage is, in the most layman's of terms, now there's ways to adjust this and make it stronger, but the general thought of usage is the end of a possession. So a turnover could count, a missed shot could count as usage, stuff like that. So it is naturally correlated for high usage and high fantasy point per minute to go together, and low usage and low fantasy point per minute to go together. But there are some nuances for high steal guys, high block guys, high defensive rebounder, stuff like that. So yes and no, I guess is the answer, but more so yes than no. Jordan Poole first half fantasy points, just might have to do it. J. Cole just might have to do it. So we will have the prop detector set up throughout the day. Josh is just insane at keeping tabs on that. So if you don't want to wait around, I'm sure Josh will have a couple of picks growing as the day evolves. So make sure you guys are in that rundfs.com VIP spreadsheet. And then, like I said, right after this one, I'll be heading over to the Awesemo channel in about 20 minutes. We'll be live, myself and Greg, talking the baseball slate from a DraftKings standpoint. And then after that, we'll be back on this channel for the PrizePicks NBA stream. And then after that, we're heading to the NBA VIP Discord, which is behind the paywall at rundfs.com. And we'll be chatting until lock, probably sweating some baseball and making some more baseball decisions. So it's going to be a really long day. It's already been a long day, but hey, that's what we're here for. And then we'll do it all again tomorrow. Lots and lots of fun. Terrell Riley's his Lakers game, big under. So the Lakers are implied for 102 points. I mean, that's probably scary because that fourth quarter, they could go into that fourth quarter with 75 points, and then the Warriors would throw out, like, I don't know, Damian Lee and Chris Chiozza, guys like that, and you just never know. You just never know. So maybe the under this morning. But I don't know. I think the line was always implied for the Lakers to be out. So I'm just kind of – I don't want to co-sign that and get you in trouble, Terrell. But I think it makes sense.
I just noticed a little glitch.
What's that?
We'll get to it later, but actually it might be gone by the time that the show comes around. But Miles Bridges is full game fantasy points at 38, but his first half fantasy is at 18. It's 2 points less. We never see that ever.
Shh, chat. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
It's usually juice. It's usually the other way around, right?
Yeah. No. 100%. All right. Well, that is our show, man. Josh, I appreciate you moving your schedule around to accommodate chat. I appreciate you moving your schedule around to accommodate, and we're gonna keep it going. So come with me over to the Awesemo channel. Let's talk some baseball. Get a couple baseball lineups in, and then we'll come back. We'll talk some prize picks, and tomorrow should be a little bit more normal. I do have to carve out a safer spot for the baseball stream, but right now I'm just kind of like on call for just about anything, anywhere. So I've been around. So I appreciate you guys. If you would hit that thumbs up on your way out, man. I appreciate you making part of my day. Be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them, because I love you. I love you, Brother Love. You know Brother Love, Undertaker, way back when. Chat, go make some, go crush it. Good luck. God bless, and go win some money. Josh, I feel like you sleep less than I do. How's that possible?
I'm pretty tired, man.
Yeah,
and I feel your pain.
It was. Yeah, I hit melatonin last night. Like I can't take chances. I still only got like 6 hours of sleep. I saw that your video was ready. I got up, edited that. Then I was like, oh, man, where do I squeeze in baseball? But it's fun. It's fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, hang in there, man. You're almost there. I mean, I'll try to have all the prop stuff listed out that I want to target, because we're probably gonna be limited on time. So try to have all that worked out.
And like I said, we might be able to go live before 4:20, but that stream ends at 4. So I was giving myself a 15-minute buffer to set up. But if we have everything ready to go, I can go. I can flip a switch right away.
Okay, yeah. Then just shoot me a message, and I can just hop on them whenever.
All right, that works. All right, man. I'll catch you in a little bit.
All right, see you.